Rock here, guest designer for DeBellosDesigns.com. Today we're going to be making a panel card with a pocket to be used for inserting a small gift, such as bookmarks, gift tags, cash if you would like, but it'll have a cute little pocket. So the items that we're going to be using today are going to be a DL sized card, which is a standard card that will fit in a regular legal size envelope. It is 4 by 8 1/4, and then we're going to top that with the panel topper, which is 3 3/4 by 8. The pocket flap will be 3 3/4 by 4 1/2, and then the front, which will have our design on it, will be 3 1/4 by 4. We're going to be using Elements inks today in Blue Lagoon and Della Blue. We have our Lavinia Stamps blending brush. We're using VersaFine Clair for our stamping. For the stamps, we have the Mystical Swirl Lavinia LAV-589, the new Winter Magic Words LAV-708. We'll be using FIP LAV-697. We're going to be covering up his little lantern and using the Christmas charm, the star one, that's LAV-696. So we're going to get started. We're going to start with the panel. And I'm just using, this is just cardstock, 110 pound heavy duty cardstock. It takes ink well, doesn't take water real great, but it does pretty okay. So we're going to load up our brush, and we're just going to do the top of this. There's no need to do the bottom because it's all going to be covered. So, in no particular order. Just add some color. And I'm starting with the Della Blue here. And if you're going to check to make sure that you're covering far enough down, which that's good. Now we're going to add some of the Blue Lagoon. Just until we have a nice mottled effect there. And we're going to do that same thing with the pocket. Just kind of around the edges. We don't need to worry about the center because it will be covered by the pocket front. I like to do the corners first dark, that way it blends into the card nicely. And I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on this because this is just regular cardstock. It's different than just multifarious card. Okay, and now back to the blue Lagoon. I think that looks pretty nice. And then our panel card, which is going to be the front, where it's going to be on the top of this, where the stamps are going to be. We're going to do that in a second. Actually going to do the stamping first and then do the blending around it. So we have these semi-ready. Okay, so now I'm going to take this. Water. And you could just spritz for the effect, or you can use a fan brush. A fan brush will give you nicer, big droplets, small and large. I don't know how I did it. So here I just have a little pot of clean water. And I'm holding this brush a little, about probably 6 inches up in the air. I'm sorry, you probably can't see it on the camera. A little more. Just going to tap that off slightly. And I'm just tapping this with my finger. Okay. I'm just going to dry it. Okay, so nice and dry. So you can see this is going to go down here on the bottom. So it's going to give the effect that it is a whole entire sheet of paper. Hopefully you can see that all. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is stamp the words. And I just have a thing of paper here. our winter words that on the stamping block. And this is the VersaFine Nocturne. Make that up really good. And we're going to just put this in the middle. There, looks good. Perfect. Give it a nice cleaning. Over it goes. Okay. Pretty nice. Set that off to the side. And now I have the topper here that's going to have our picture on it. Now I'm going to do the stamping first. So first I have Fip. And I like him because he looks like he's waving, saying hello. So I have a piece of stencil tape that I'm putting over his little lantern because I want to use the star instead. And back to the Nocturne. On a tap. Nice and covered. My ink pad is a bit dry, so it's kind of smudging. And I have a bunch on the corner, so I'm just going to clean that off with a baby wipe. This is an alcohol-free baby wipe. Okay, so that's all pretty good. Now I have some tape on there. Now I'm going to take this tape off because I have ink on there. I don't want to get that on there. So, I'm just going to clean that. So all of the stamp except for the lantern. And pop him down. Take that off. And now we're going to use the Christmas charms, and I'm using the one with the little star. We're going to get that clean, and we're going to line that up to right where the lantern would have been, and I'm going to do it 4 dots down. So there's these little dots on the stamps, and I'm going to do it up 4. Then I'll wipe the ink off the rest so it's not hanging down too far. Good and inked up. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So everything above that line, clean off. Okay, and up. Perfect. Okay, now we have our mystical swirl, which kind of gives effect of snow blowing, or it's just a very delicate. Oh, I'm messy today. Clean that off. Okay, now this is just going to go kind of around the edges. Start right here. And press Stamp down. Very good. And more there. So there you have that. Set that down. Okay, and this time we're just going to use the blue Lagoon around the top. Blend that in really good. And I'm going to give that a quick dry so I don't have to smudge. So we're just lightly going around him. And now we're going to ground him, so I'm just going to take a piece of paper, tear it off. Give him a nice little hilt to stand on. So this time we're going to use the Della blue. So it's a bit darker, it'll look like the ground, and I'm just going to swirl that. Okay, so it's not a lot of color. And covering up the ground again, because I don't really want that to be too. Of course, I did it this way, but I'm just going to kind of try to cover it. And I'm just spritzing my water bottle, and I have the Distress Oxide. If you spray it all the way down fast, it gives fine water. If you just barely, it just kind of does more drips. And I just got a pretty big drip, so I'm just going to like clean that. What? Oh. I'm going to go back to my fan brush and do it so I can control the drips a bit better. Off. So that was pretty quick. And now, I mean, you could always add glitter, you could color it in, you could do his wings, you could give it a lot more detail, but for sake of being a last minute Christmas card, we're going to just keep it very simple today. So that is how it's going to look. So we are going to assemble our card. We take the panel card. I use these tape runners. If you use glue, that works fine. We're going to line this up. You're going to have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And for this pocket, not for the pocket, the top of the pocket. No. For the pocket itself, if you wanted to use the double-sided sticky tape or foam dots, that would give it some dimension. If you're going to be putting something in here that is thicker and you want it to have room. Oh shoot. Then you could raise it up. So on this one, I messed up. So I messed up. I'm working quick enough that I'm going to take this off. I'm going to swap out with one that I had made earlier. because you shall only do it on 3 sides. Only tape down 3 sides. Otherwise, you don't have a pocket. So you guys, everybody makes mistakes, and I'm having the most amount of troubles today for no reason at all, other than I'm in a hurry because it's Christmas and I have 100 things to do. But I made this, or I made a card very similar to this for my son. To just put some cash in instead of just having to put it on the inside. Okay. So we have this. Okay, so that's the pocket. And then you have an actual pocket right here. And I have a white piece of card here that I'll just put in there and you can see how it looks. Oh, this card is too white. So here's a tag I made earlier that will just show how it's a pocket. So if you just wanted to shove something down in there like that, you could give it as a card. As such. But thank you. I hope you enjoyed this little pocket panel card, and you could still open it up, put your sentiment in the inside if you would like. So there you have it, a quick, simple gift holding card. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you. I also like to remind you, if you haven't already done so, to like and subscribe to Bello's channel. There's many of us ladies that are on the design team offering tutorial videos. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook at Bello's Design Lounge and Bello's a la carte lounge. The Lavinia site is just the Bello's Lounge. If you have any comments, if you make a card and use your own inspiration as far as the photo for the picture, however, I'd love to see it. Thanks. Have a great day and Merry Christmas.